What it do, cucksties? It's your boy the Hater. Hater on the road, hater stuck in traffic. Hater going to the casino, motherfuckers. Haters feeling lucky today, or maybe unlucky. We'll see how it goes. Cucksties. Now, with that being said, today's video number one, I'm going to try to do a SmackDown review, but I may not. I may do something else instead and do the SmackDown review tomorrow, because tomorrow is Money in the Bank, and, I'm going to review that one way or another. You know what I mean? I feel like I have to. Money in the Bank, for better or for worse, is one of the pay-per-views that must be looked forward to, because it's the pay-per-view that's going to determine one of the new champions of the year, right? It's as simple as that. Nowadays, you either win the title at WrestleMania, or you win it through Money in the Bank, or guess what, cucks? You don't win it at all. You just stay a jobber for life. And that's where we find ourselves. Now, Money in the Bank, being that it is one of the bigger pay-per-views of the year, and one of the things that people look forward to, as usual, per schedule, as WWE has done for the last several such pay-per-views like Elimination Chamber, they are really, really relying on the gimmick matches. Why do I say that? Let me get at you. Number one, there's 4 fucking matches on this event. Now, I will concede that earlier in the day, we have the AAA Worlds Collide. So if you are a fan of El Hijo de Vikingo, then it is what it is. This is your lucky weekend, right? But if you're not a fan of El Hijo de Vikingo and you really want to see Hijo de Puta or Felipe Escalante, then today ain't your day. And I mean today, I mean tomorrow, because I think it's all tomorrow, right? So there you have it. So in theory, there is a considerable amount of wrestling going on, right? Like, isn't Chad Gable wrestling at like the fucking AAA? Like, I thought he was. I could be wrong though, but if he is, he's also going to be in the fucking Money in the Bank. Like, shout out to Chad for pretty much keeping this company alive in terms of the in-ring product, right? He's like the only, like, if you look at like who's had the most matches in the last several years, I bet you he's like the number one in televised matches, right? Because he's enough of a jobber, right? And he's athletic enough to just keep going, and he's not big enough of a name at all to like take any time off, right? So anyways, irrespective of any of this garbage, right, we find ourselves in a weird predicament, right? We have 4 fucking matches for Money in the Bank. Let's say that none of us are going to watch the Worlds Collide. I think that's a pretty safe assessment. I'm going to see how many people are watching at the same time. It'll be probably like 20,000 at most, you know what I mean? Which is fucking atrocious. But anyways, the 4 matches are as follows. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, starring Solo Sikoa, a fucking jobber, the megastar himself, LA Knight, yeah, right? Seth Rollins, who I fucking hate in this match. And then we have a bunch of other jobbers, such as Andrade and El Grande Americano. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 motherfucks. It's not even like an 8-man match, right? Will it be a good match? I'm sure. El Grande Americano will do some cool things. I'm sure Andrade will do like a suplex on a ladder or some shit like that. Rollins will almost certainly face stomp someone into a ladder. You're going to see a BFT into a ladder or a chair or something, right? Penta will do some Cero Miedo dive. There it is. I just spoiled the match for you. The only thing about this match is that maybe LA Knight wins. I think he is the favorite, logically. I just don't see Seth Rollins winning. I see Seth Rollins climbing the ladder and reaching for the title, and then CM Punk's music hitting, and him getting distracted, and CM Punk coming out and screwing him, allowing LA Knight, to win, right? Beyond LA Knight, which would normally be a long shot in a match like this. Also, Seth Rollins, he has to be the second favorite. Again, for the reasons that I just said, as well as just for the optics of it, I just don't see it happening, right? Like, do you really see Seth Rollins being the leader of a stable and having the Money in the Bank? It just feels low rent, right? He would feel like a mid-carder. Now, I know what you're all thinking, but hater, Rollins is a mid-carder. And while I agree, I don't think they're trying to present him as such, right? So, it's just weird. Like, the guy that supposedly main evented WrestleMania, should have no business even wanting the Money in the Bank, right? I mean, at least in like the real world, right? In kayfabe, everyone should want the Money in the Bank because it's like the only way to become a champion. But in kayfabe, people don't. Like, for example, why isn't Roman Reigns trying to get the Money in the Bank, right? Like, why isn't Randy Orton trying to get the Money in the Bank, Anyways, this match is plagued by one thing and one thing only. And that is the fact that Solo Sikoa, Andrade, and El Grande Americano and Penta in my personal opinion, have no chance to win, right? However, I will concede that Jey Uso, I also thought, had no chance to win the Royal Rumble, so they could pull a swerve, right? I don't think they will. That's unlikely, but because of that, you might as well just have had LA Knight versus Rollins. It'd probably be more entertaining. Next, we have the Money in the Bank for the women's briefcase, right? We got Alexa Bliss. I don't think she's going to win unless, like, the Wyatt... It'd be cool if the Wyatt Six came and just, like, you know, stopped everyone from climbing. You know, not attacked them because they're women, but, like, stopped everyone from climbing. So Alexa Bliss could win. That'd be, like, a cool way to end the match and have her join, right? Roxanne Perez is going to be involved. I mean, they're pegging her to be this, like, future star. I quite frankly don't see it. This has AJ Lee written all over it, meaning that I'm not going to like it. But she is being pegged as a future star, so she definitely has, you know, a good shot at winning. Then we've got Rhea Ripley, which I actually think would make a compelling Miss Money in the Bank, right? But it would be kind of stupid because it's like, if she wins, it's like you want her to just cash it in immediately because she has an advantage over every other woman on the roster just in terms of size and strength, right? Except maybe Bianca Belair, but I mean, I think she'd beat Bianca Belair's ass, but that's neither here nor there. Then Julia, who I think is a jobber. Naomi would be a good, a good winner in my opinion. And then we've got Stephanie Vaquer, everyone's favorite female wrestler at the time, right? So this match actually, compared to the men's match, there's far more viable winners. But the problem here is, motherfuckers, I don't give a fuck, right? And I think I speak for all of us when I say none of you give a fuck about this. Then we've got Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch, which quite frankly is a pre-show match. This match shouldn't happen, you know, at a pay-per-view, and it shouldn't happen at a pay-per-view like this. Meaning, this should not be one of the 4 matches that we're going to be graced with, right? No. Then we've got the main event, which, I mean, look, you get John Cena in it, motherfuckers. What more do you want, right? But it's Cody and Jey Uso versus Cena and Logan Paul. Now, I don't care about this match because fundamentally, it doesn't matter who wins, right? Like, one team has a champion and a challenger, and the other team has the opposite challenger and the opposite champion, right? So what's going to happen is the team that wins, the non-champion, is going to say, I want a title shot, right? I beat the champion's team, I want a title shot. This would be especially true if the non-champion, so like if Cody Rhodes pins Cena, or if Logan Paul pins Jey Uso, then their argument is very clear. It's like, I pinned the champion, I should get a title shot, right? But that's just how it's going to be, right? Now, if, for example, Cena pins Jey Uso, right, Logan Paul can still make the claim. So the resolution of this match is the same. The non-champion winner is going to bolster their argument to become the next champion, right? That's all that's happening here, you know? Now, beyond this, I will like to pay some close attention to the permutation of the tag teams, right? Logan Paul and John Cena, that's like the Hollywood kind of tag team. And then, like, Hollywood, like, D-list Hollywood, but nevertheless. Then we've got Cody and Jey, right? They're like the wrestler, you know, duo, right? But more importantly than being the wrestler duo, these two cuckwads are also like, you know, a tag team, right? For better or for worse, Cody and Jey are a tag team, right? You can't cut it any other way. They were tag team champions, and they have a tag team finisher, which are the 2 requirements, in my opinion, to be a legit tag team. They have the Cody. I think it's just like, you know, like the Cody Cutter into like a flapjack, so like a 3D with a Cody Cutter, which I think is actually a pretty interesting evolution of the 3D. And it's also an evolution, like an organic one, because Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso would do the 1D. I don't know if Jey Uso was the one that lifted the guy, doesn't matter, right? So, you know, they would do the 1D, and there you have it. Now we have like the Cody, right? They're gonna hit that. That's pretty cool, you know? And Cody Rhodes already does the Cody Cutter. I don't know how he got away with this, by the way, but he does it. He does a better RKO in terms of impact than Randy Orton. Obviously, it's not going to look as clean when Cody does it, but you understand, right? The point is, right, we have a tag team versus, like, John Cena and Logan Paul. So the match should be interesting. But because nobody cares, like, about the match itself, because there's no implication, and any implication that might resume afterwards is going to be a direct and utter consequence of the non-champion challenging the champion, right? That's all that's going to happen. You know, nobody sees this in any other way. I don't see this manifesting in any other fucking way, mother cucks. So with that being said, I think personally that this match, it's going to be the main event, but it's going to fall flat, right? It's just going to fall flat, like nobody cares. These are 4 of the, I fucking can't believe I'm saying this, 4 of the biggest names in the company, but let's be real. It's Cena, it's a celebrity and 2 mid-carders. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is, right? Cena's gonna have to carry this match, just like he's carried this company on his back for the last, like, 15 years, while these jobber-ass motherfucks started to take over, by the way. I want to talk about that in another video, maybe tonight's second video when I get home, you know? But, we'll see. I mean, like, there is something to be said about that, about the fact that we've got all these people that have ruined wrestling while Cena was carrying this company. Let's have that story another time, right? That being said, motherfuckers, I am not excited for this 4-match pay-per-view or whatever the fuck it's called. You know, 4-match, whatever, premium live event. I don't care, right? And I should care because this is the fucking Money in the Bank. Meaning that this is the pay-per-view, right? This is the pay-per-view where we potentially find out the future, the next 2 champions. Like, at least 1 male champion and 1 female champion. Obviously, it's going to be for the World Heavyweight title because I don't see LA Knight cashing in on Cena, right? Although, what a story that would be, right? How great would that be? Like, you have, like, Cena versus Cody. They destroy each other. Maybe Travis Scott comes out there. Travis Scott screws Cody once again. Cena wins. But then LA Knight comes out, hits fucking Travis Scott on the back of the head with the briefcase, goes in, cashes the briefcase, and then goes in there in the ring as Cena's getting up, turns him around, hits the BFT, and Cena takes 3 the hard way. That'd be cool, you know? But I still see that happening. We'll see. But at least that's the cool thing, right? The Money in the Bank season is interesting because it's an opportunity for 2 characters to advance, right? Usually nothing happens. There's no character development, but sometimes there is, and I think that's interesting. So that being said, I mean, I'm lukewarm about this. It's 4 matches. It's going to be 4 hours probably. So there you have it, you know. The only good news is that at least the matches should be decent, right? Like, I don't care about Lara Valkyria or Becky. I only care about the men's, you know, Money in the Bank, and because I want LA Knight to win, and I only care about the Cena match because I want Cena to win. Otherwise, you know what I mean? Like, the other matches are completely irrelevant to me. They could be good matches, right? Like Lara Valkyria's match with Becky Lynch, like their tag match, was it? There was one of the female matches at WrestleMania was one of the best matches. No, it was the triple threat. That was like one of the best matches of the night and like one of the best female matches of all time. So things can happen, but quite frankly, I don't think anybody's excited about this. It's a throwaway event. I mean, maybe I'll go watch AAA and, you know, fucking go to bed or some shit afterwards. That being said, take care of yourselves and your own mothers, motherfuckers.